Doy ahora la palabra al distinguido representante de Angola.
Mr. President, Excellencies, thank you for giving me the floor. We welcome the convening of this important meeting. Angola aligns itself with the statement delivered by Iraq, Gabon, and Zimbabwe on behalf of G77 plus China, the African Group, and Southern African Development Community SADC, respectively. Allow us to make additional remarks on our national capacity. Angola reaffirms its unwavering commitment to the principles of United Nations Charter and multilateralism as an universal approach to address complex global challenges. Unilateral coercive measures are contrary to the international law, international humanitarian law, the UN Charter, and the norms and the principles governing peaceful relations among states, and severely harms the human rights and development prospects of affected populations. We express our full solidarity with all member states that continue to suffer under the weight of such measures, impeding their access to health care, education, finance, and sustainable development. We call on member states that are applying these unfair unilateral measures to end them permanently and refrain from using them again. Mr. President, in Africa, Zimbabwe stands as a stark example of these unreasonable and unfair measures. For over 2 decades, the country has endured sanctions imposed outside of the framework of the UN Security Council, with far-reaching impact on its people and neighboring countries. In her 2020 first report on Zimbabwe, the UN Special Rapporteur, Professor Alina Duan, conclude that, and I quote, sanctions, including secondary sanctions and different forms over compliance by foreign banks and companies, have had a significant impact on the population and the government, exacerbating pre-existing economic and humanitarian challenges, end of quote. She recommended lifting unilateral sanctions in line with the principles of international law. SADC has also called for the complete and unconditional removal of all unilateral coercive measures and designated 25 October as the day for solidarity against sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe. Mr. President, in Latin America, Cuba has suffered an unfair and unjustified economic, commercial, and financial embargo over 6 decades, which prevented the country to implement the macroeconomic programs and to be fully integrated in the international trading system. This embargo, contrary to the UN Charter and international law, is causing huge material losses and economic damage to the people of Cuba and undermining the country's ability to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030. Angola has consistently defended the unconditional lifting of the economic, commercial, and financial embargo imposed on Cuba. Mr. President, under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, we made a collective pledge to leave no one behind. Yet, unilateral coercive measures are directly undermining the target country's ability to implement their national agenda to ensure economic, social, and cultural rights, as well as the right to development. These measures do not promote peace or reform. Instead, they deepen divisions, hinder progress, weaken cooperation among nations, and negate the tenets of the Pact for the Future. To conclude, Angola called for renewed global solidarity and commitment to uphold dialogue, mutual respect, principle of sovereign equality among states, and multilateralism as the foundation for global peace, development, and human dignity for all. I thank you.
Doy las gracias al distinguido representante de Angola.